Hello everyone, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. Whenever you're tuning into this video, Abstract Medicine, then this video has found you at the perfect time. So thank you so much for tuning in today, and also for tuning in to all of the other videos, all of the other messages here on YouTube, Abstract Medicine YouTube channel, as well as Abstract Medicine on Instagram. Thank you also so much for your private bookings and your private sessions. Just a little announcement before we start to do the channeling with Commander Ashtar today. It's going to be a very fun reading. I'm sure it's going to be an interesting one. He's going to be bringing in lots of messages as well. I feel his energies are coming through already. But before we do that, I would like to say that it is a good idea for you to check the bookings page on the website. In the description below, the website is down below, because there is a new edit and there's also a new booking available. So there's edits on the booking page where you can see under each booking there is now a new link for the tips. And there's also some more information as well there for each booking. There's also a nice little picture with my hands, which are very familiar to you now, and the tarot cards as well, depending on what kind of booking you're booking for. There is also a new booking, which is the Astral Natal Chart booking, and it is also including the tarot as well. I read these messages of your checking in on your, and also just figuring out who you get to be on your life's path and journey and destiny. It's an analysis on your personality type as well as your destiny, as I mentioned, and your character, as well as your signature sign, essentially. And then I also use your natal chart, intuitively, reading it intuitively to see if there's other messages there as well that need to come through from Spirit. So this is a new offering, a new service, and it's £188, £188, and it's maximum about 2 hours long in length. It requires a lot of my energy, a lot of my time, so there is that. But if you're unable to afford or buy or purchase my bookings, then you can definitely just send me a tip as an exchange of your gratitude, where there's a tip information under each booking page, essentially each booking box, where you can share your gratitude for all of the free readings here on YouTube, as well as Abstract Medicine on Instagram. So very excited about that new booking. We already have a new member on Abstract Medicine who is just about to book that session. Most of all of my bookings are pre-recorded. You ask me the question, you send me a direct message or an email, you ask me the question, I then get to work and do something like this, where I record and answer your question, and I send you a private video where you have that video for eternity. You can have a look back at that video whenever you want to in your own time as well. So yeah, very excited about that, and it's been a beautiful message from Spirit to deliver that booking for all of you and that service for all of you. So thank you so much for listening to that little announcement. So let's begin. Let me get ready. Hopefully it won't be as long as the last Commander Ashtar reading, or channeling session even. But he says it's going to be as long as it has to be. I have laundry going at the moment, so I thought it would be an opportune time to check in as well and do this right now. So let's get into it. Okay. All right, let me just move the candle here. I have some tools here. I'm not sure if I'll be using them, but we will see, won't we? We will see. Commander Ashtar. Commander Ashtar, welcome. Welcome, welcome everyone. Commander Ashtar, thank you so much for the last channeling session that we had with you. As you know, many people were very impacted, profoundly impacted with your messages. Bear with me as I tune into his energies, okay? This may take a moment. Commander Ashtar, thank you so much for being here today. I'm going to be using is the wrong word, using. He's talking about the word using and usurping. Using and usurping are intertwined nowadays, he's saying. What I meant to say is I'm going to be moving out of the way so that I can bring Commander Ashtar to fully channel in through my body and out through my vocal cords. So maybe the tone of how I'm saying things may change a little bit as I'm going to be purely channeling him. Okay, he's here. So Commander Ashtar, what are the messages? He says pick one card. He's funny, he's saying pick one card, any card. The Lovers. This is one of his favorite topics, by the way. This is one of his favorite topics, and the topic is about union and the topic of non-duality and how we get to live a life outside of the non-duality. He says it takes two to tango, and there is an energy of duo here. Okay. Just have my tea. I'm hearing red hot chili peppers. What I've got to give and put it in you. So he's talking about the physical union of two entities, two bodies coming together. Okay, don't worry if you can't see the card fully. Okay, but it's about physical union and physical matter. He's talking about physical union and physical matter. Let me have a look at this map here, all right, and see what this is about. He's also saying to take this card, these two cards. Okay. I just keep hearing that song. What I've got to give it and put it in you. Okay. Commander Ashtar, what is this all about? What is this Lover's card? It's about an important choice. A lot of you are feeling the burn. I'm hearing a lot of you are feeling the burn because you have an important choice to make and to be made in your partnership sector in your life. Because we have different sectors in our life, and the partnership sector in your life is coming in really strongly, and it's all about important choices that you need to make. Okay, about your partnerships in your romantic situation, also in your career. Okay, so let's have a look and see what this is about, please. Commander Ashtar. What is this partnership message all about, please, Commander Ashtar? Tell us about this message. He's saying be bold. Some of you, be bold and make the first move. Okay, there's a message here about being bold and making the first move. A lot of your answers are pointing to yes, so there's no need to be worrying about the negative. It's all pointing to yes, he is saying. Everything is pointing to yes in your life. So don't think about the worst scenario or the worst outcome. Think about everything moving in your favor and working out in your favor, because everything is pointing to yes. Commander Ashtar, what is it? They're saying that he's saying he's saying that the Queen and King are coming to their throne and the right place. He's pointing at the Queen and King here, right here. And he's saying that the Queen and King are coming together at their right place. Okay, beautiful. This can happen between 7, 8, and 9 days. So the 7, 8, and 9 months, coming into physical union for a lot of you, or July, August, and September, possibly for some of you, October is going to be significant months, okay? Are going to be significant months for you, all right? He's now telling me to use my left hand. For some reason, my elbow really hurts, and it's such a weird thing because I haven't bashed it or hurt it, but some of you, your right elbow, your right arm, your right elbow could hurt a lot at this time, so there's a need to get some medical treatment about that, okay? All right, let's see what else. What else is there, Commander? He's saying, look at this card. All right. 3 of Cups. Some of you, a lot of you are moving away from a third-party situation, which involves you, I just heard being duped, being taken for granted. For those of you who are in a non-monogamous relationship, and there are many people involved in this situation, you're going to be made a priority because you understand that you are the priority now and in the future. And you have always been a priority, but have you allowed yourself to see that you are a priority? He's saying. A lot of you, I just heard your twin flame, your true soulmate is going to reflect exactly who you are and who you get to be. Now we have the Merkaba here. I don't know if you can see this. But we have the Merkaba star between the two of them. He's also now pointing to the message about Jason Momoa and Lisa Bonet, who have been said to rekindle their connection and are coming back together in union. Whether this is true or not, there is absolutely no denying a strong, powerful connection, a soulful connection between you and your significant other. For those of you who are already in a relationship, then this will be confirmation that you are in the right connection, essentially. But the Merkaba between you is very powerful. You know, again, it's the energy of sitting in the throne and being in the throne of your own power and your own desire. You are in charge of your life, essentially. You are in charge of your life, and you are attracting the right person who's also in charge of their life. And it's the balance, you know, the Merkaba is the balance of the masculine triangle and the feminine triangle. So again, it's that blend of the masculine energy and the feminine energies. Now, I also will say that it is currently at the time of this reading, it's Sagittarius season and it's just begun. So Sagittarius season has begun. And this person here has a bow and arrow on their right arm. Now remember I spoke about my elbow hurting earlier? My elbow is fine now, it doesn't hurt anymore. But it's about the right arm. The energy of your right arm is very significant because a lot of you feminines have been most of your life operating with your masculine energy, which is fine, but it's been out of balance, he is saying. It has been out of balance. It has been out of balance because you have been overexerting your masculine capacities. So there's going to be someone here who's not going to replace that for you, but there's going to be someone here who's going to come into your life, if you have not already experienced it, who will be balancing out so that they can take away the pain of you using or overworking your masculine energy in order for your own protection. A lot of you have been self-sacrificing for your own survival, for your needs being met. There is someone who's going to be balancing out this overactive approach to your life. Now, the masculine energy in your own self is positive with regard to career, with your drive, with your passions, your goals, your ambitions, your desires. But when it is overused, we can become overdone, overcooked, our adrenals are overcooked, he says. And so he's saying allow yourself, particularly those of you who are women and men as well, or if you are a feminine or a masculine, allow both of yourselves individually to allow someone into your heart. Be receptive. Maybe both parties get to really connect with their feminine receptivity energy. Now, he was also pointing at the High Priestess card too here in the map. He calls this a map, by the way. And he's saying that you already know, and some of you are already doubting your intuitive abilities about this, but there's no need to doubt your intuitive abilities. There's no need to doubt what you already know within you, within your own heart space. Okay? So Sagittarius season is going to be very significant, or a particular Sagittarius in your life, or someone who has Sagittarius in their natal chart in particular. But I do feel like Sagittarius season is going to play a massive role in divine unions and partnerships coming together or meeting up. Okay, so this is 21st, 22nd of December, sorry, 21st, 22nd of November through to the, I did say 21st, 22nd of December, so those dates could also be significant. The 20 to the 21st of December. Okay, so okay. Ace of Pentacles. If there's been a missed opportunity to meet up with this person, if there's been a missed opportunity to connect, to see this person, or there hasn't been any communication, or there hasn't been a new beginning starting up or taking place in the physical world, you know, where you start to have a relationship with this person, or for those of you who are wanting to have children or a family, however that looks like to you, I see that it is going to happen soon. And the next time you encounter this person or you communicate with this person, it's going to happen at the right time with them. For some reason, it wasn't quite the right time for union in your past. Or maybe you hadn't met the right person because maybe there was a lesson here that needed to be learned through a karmic situation or a karmic relationship. And so you're also understanding through your own karma how to make the right choices here. Now, this person could be completely different from your usual type. This person could be abroad. This person could be culturally very ambiguous or racially ambiguous, or there's something kind of interesting about them that is the opposite of your usual. And the reason why this is because this person is drawing out all the elements of you that have been laying dormant within your own soul, because they are a reflection of who you were in another past life, whether it was your recent past life or just many other incarnations before this one. Now, he is saying that because we have the Merkaba in the middle of these two individual people, he is saying that the Merkaba, is a vehicle. Let's call it a spaceship. It's a vehicle that transcends space and time. So, there are lifetimes that are experienced at this time beyond space and time. So our idea of, this is a topic that he is very well read in. He's well studied in this topic of union, of the illusion of time. He's very well versed in these ideas. And they're not ideas, they're facts. That are also in conjunction with universal laws that cannot be changed or multiplied or destroyed, he's saying. Just like energy. There are certain truths in the universe and the multiverse, he is winking, that cannot be changed, multiplied, or destroyed, just like energy. And one of those laws are in conjunction with this idea that, or with this fact, that time and space are one, and that there is no separation, that there is no duality. He's also pointing out to the fact of the number 3. Number 3 being the number of Trinity, number 3 being the energy of the pyramid, number 3 also being a part of the sacred number within the Merkaba, which is the triangle up and down, masculine, feminine, but masculine, feminine. There's energy of, he's showing me the Wheel of Fortune, and he's showing me how things just naturally evolve and change, but everything is constantly in movement. The universe is constantly moving, he is saying. The universe is constantly in movement. Everything is constantly being evolved. Everything is constantly changing. Even something in our world, on planet Earth, that we may see that is completely immovable, or something that is not changed, or something that is fixed, we are seeing that it actually is constantly moving, because that's how energy works. Energy is constantly in motion. And he's also pointing out to motion and emotion, how emotion is energy in motion. So how you're feeling about this person, if you already know them, if you are in a relationship with this person, or if you're wanting to call this person into your life, I feel like this is mainly a focus on love. This is going to be the love reading. He's a love doctor, he's saying. It's very sweet. He's coming in with his very, very sweet energy, and it's very, very subtle, and it's not normally how I perceive him to be, but he is a trick. He's got the trick of all trades, he's saying. So he's showing me that the masculine can also be very sensitive. Again, regardless of gender. He's showing me that the main masculine in your life is going to be very sensitive. Sensitive in the sense of romantic and perceptive and observant. This card just flipped out, and we have Viaggio. So we have someone who's traveling towards you as well, by the way. There's lots of communication coming in through this person and this connection. There's also a divine connection between both of you, because you're both alchemizing and integrating the Merkaba within you. Because you're both integrating your masculine and feminine energies within yourselves. And so once he's saying it's kind of like chemistry. Commander Ashtar is talking about alchemy, and he is an alchemist as well. As he says, he's a jack of all trades. So he has this understanding that it's like cooking, like a little bit of salt here and a little bit of salt there. He's showing you 2 pans of water, or 2 pots of water, and he's talking about the importance of water and ether here. And ether is a very important element in alchemy, he is saying. And it's actually, that's where science in your world on planet Earth has a lack of understanding of true metaphysical science, alchemical science, where ether is the most important component. It's the subtle. Now, ether is a very subtle element. And it is said that ether is connected to Egypt, here with number 3 in the pyramids. It's connected to maybe a particular star system that you feel most resonant with your galactic connection, your galactic family, whatever that may be, whether it's Pleiadian, Lyra, whatever, or Andromedan, whatever. But he's saying that the etheric element is feminine, because it is through the feminine energy and the feminine element that all things are created. Physically, he is saying. All things are created physically through the feminine portal. He's talking about portals. All things are created physically through the feminine portal or vessel. in the physical world as a humanoid existence, as well as in the cosmic world. However, he is talking about thought. However, thought and desire come from the masculine energy in the corporeal humanoid world, as well as the cosmic world. So again, it's that masculine energy of ambition and drive that comes in with a thought, and then it is manifested through the feminine vessel. Okay, he said it's important for me to share this with you all. Now he's talking about travel, and Merkaba, the Merkaba is the vehicle that Archangel Metatron is said to use and operate on and work in. And he is saying that any of you who call in Archangel Metatron for guidance or as a guide, he is saying that you can enter his Merkaba, his space, his vehicle, in order to see things a little bit like the Akashic Records, your own sacred library of your past lives and other lifetimes to come as well. Again, just ignore the idea of time being a line, time being a linear experience or a linear operation. Time is across all spaces, all dimensions, all directions, he is saying. So he's saying that you can call an Archangel Metatron. For a lot of you, you see Archangel Metatron as an archangel. He is a messenger. He is part of the Elohim philosophy, essentially. And he's saying that he can teach you, Archangel Metatron can teach you these sacred arts of time travel, as well as the basic study in alchemy. He is talking about alchemy as well. Now, these are very esoteric teachings. Now, remember, because energy is everywhere, and it is not necessarily always seen, but it is felt and experienced. These are teachings that may not necessarily be written in books or where there are physical copies. So you will receive this information as a student if you are ready to experience the teaching through a master, through classes that are conducted through meditation. He's also showing me a particular civilization which I'm connected to on planet Earth, which is the Etruscans, or Etruschi. Now, the Etruschi, or the Etruscans, the Etruschi, were a civilization just before the Roman civilization. The Romans knew about the Etruschi. They were a kind of pagan civilization, and they lived outside Rome in the Lazio region, where I pretty much sort of like holidayed a lot. I kind of say I sort of grew up around that region anyway, because I was a very young child and I did. But there were these caves there. There were caves there, and as a child I would go with my friend Veronica, and we would go exploring. And he was saying that what I had seen there was true. They were pagans that left sacred offerings to the moon goddess, and they would throw out their urns and ceremonial, let's say, attributes, and they would throw it out into the little river stream on a full moon or a new moon or an eclipse, or something like that, like an important moon phase. And this was a civilization that did not document their existence. They didn't document their existence. So there's very, very little to be known about them. I recently went back to that cave, and I mean, it's really hidden. It's not something that a local person or even a tourist, I mean, a person even in Rome or Roman, I mean, people in Rome know about the Etruschi. But anyway, what I'm saying is that tourists wouldn't really know about where to find this place, because it's just so hidden. And when I went there recently in 2021, and I went back to that place with Veronica at an adult stage, the magic was still there, and the mystery within us was also still there. But this place is incredibly sacred. I touched on the cave walls, and the cave walls had these little lines all across the walls. So it's as if someone had marked the wall, the stone cut like cave wall, with all of these markings. And they were just little like dash lines that's just going down, 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 like little dash lines everywhere, all across this wall. And it was a very powerful experience to behold that, because it's something that many people wouldn't necessarily see or take note of. But I did, and I touched the cave wall, and I felt that this was their way of documenting their existence. And I felt through the message that they were sending me was that they were very, very secret, and they were essentially like hermits. When I say hermits, I mean people that have a lot of deep spiritual knowing. Now, remember in the last Commander Ashtar channeling, he spoke about these people here that are the hermit civilization, that are part of a particular galactic system, who are one of the original people who came to be in this galactic federation or community he is talking about. And these are people that hold the great mysteries. They have an understanding of the beginning of many civilizations, including planet Earth, because they were there at the very beginning of its birth. They were there at the very beginning of this birth. So the Etruscans, are part of this particular civilization. So when the Romans came in, they wanted to learn more about them. But they just couldn't. I think they also made a deal with them that they could continue to do their spiritual, like magical practices, but essentially the Romans were going to take over. And so the Etruscans had kind of just disappeared. I haven't really done a meditation on how or why they disappeared, but I think that it was just the right time for them to move and leave. Maybe because they already had anticipated, maybe through their own spiritual projections, as in their channeling sessions and their perspective, that they knew that this was the very thing that was going to be predicted, that there was going to be an empire or a great wave of a change. So it was time for them to leave. I don't think it was an aggressive, let's say like exodus or an aggressive escape or anything like that. I actually feel like they left on their own, on their own volition. That's the feeling that I've got, and the feeling that I have received from that experience of being back in the cave in 2021. So why is this important, Commander Ashtar? Because many of you are connected with this civilization, he's saying. Let's have a look and see if that's correct as well. Let's have some fun with this pendulum. Commander Ashtar, are many of these people connected to the Etruscans? Why are the Etruscans coming in with this message today? Why are the Etruscans coming in with this message today? Saying yes. He is saying yes, by the way. He's saying yes. Many of us are connected with the Etruscan civilization. He's also pointing to the Tower card and the Hierophant card. Now, these are people that they wouldn't necessarily call themselves religious people. Now, remember that the Roman Empire also made a deal with, the Romans were very clever, they were very intelligent, they were very strategic. They came in like osmosis. He was talking about osmosis. They came in and infiltrated, and then by the end, it was just too late. You just realized that you were completely surrounded. I heard circondati, like circumferenced, surrounded by them, and they came in through osmosis. Many of them didn't necessarily come in aggressively and like to attack. That's a misnomer. He's saying that's a misnomer. The Romans had to come in also for the right reasons, because there was an evolutionary change here. Now, I believe that the Romans had come in, I think, just before the age of Taurus. So again, that's a lot of luxury. That's the energy of luxury. That's the energy of riches and wealth and abundance, maybe to excess as well. There's also an energy of pride there. But he was talking about the fact that there was this tower moment when the Romans had come in, because the Etruscans had known that there was going to be a big shift and a big change. And they knew that there was going to be a sect, a religious creed, something that they just would not and just didn't want to assimilate with. Now, as I'm picking up on the Etruscan energy again, it's like they're such a peaceful and sweet indigenous people that they were not about conflict. They were not about contradictions. They were not about contrasts. They were about assimilation, and they worshipped the moon goddess, essentially. If we believe the moon to be a goddess, as it were, but the moon is also maybe we can talk about that another time, Commander Ashtar, because many people aren't necessarily ready to hear what the moon really is. And I don't mean that in a weird way, but there's a time and a place, wink, wink, on when to discuss these topics. But yeah, there's something here about the beginning of Catholicism and Christianity. Okay, I'm going to take a quick pause. Okay, so I took a little break. And I can't remember what I was talking about. I think I was talking about the Etruscans. So, yeah, whatever the messages felt like they resonated for you with that, then it came at the right time. And it's also about non-duality, non-conflict. Okay. So he wants me to focus on these three cards. And I've also got this it's a playing card deck. And it's by Jean-Michel Basquiat, which I got at the show here in Los Angeles. And it's called King Pleasures. The show's called King Pleasures, yeah? And I jokingly put on my Instagram art and tarot account, Instagram Reels, V is for victory and Queen Pleasures. So, yeah, that's fun. So, yeah. King pleasures, but also queen pleasures, king and queen pleasures. It doesn't matter what your sexual persuasion is. We have the Two of Swords. It's funny because this card has the words High Priest on it. I don't know if you can see that, but it says High Priest with a heart and a cross above it. Now, it is to my belief that Jean-Michel Basquiat, being half Puerto Rican, had known about Santeria. I just feel it. And I feel that there is this inner knowing. I'm going to get you something, one moment, so you can see what I'm talking about as well. It's this here. It's about this energy. It's about knowing that we all have an inner demon. We all have our darkest shadow. And it's interesting that Santeria has been seen as something that's been so evil and demonic and all of that. But actually it's also part of the Catholic Church. believe it or not, there are terrible things that do take place in the Catholic Church in the name of God, and many other religions, as we already know. But there's this energy of, I feel like he knew that, Jean-Michel Basquiat knew that he was much more than his accomplishments. He had always wanted to be famous, and he's always wanted to be well known. But I also feel like he knew that there was a deep longing for connection, and I feel like this connection is a connection with the cosmos. And I feel like no matter how much he tried to connect with his inner being, it wasn't quite enough. So I think his soul had chosen and had decided to leave. And I think that here, with this picture here, to me it reminds me of finding that light, that truth, the star within rather than the star without. Powerful message, really. So I think there's also this inner union of knowing the capacity that you have within you, which is a whole galaxy within you, a whole dynamic playground, I'm hearing, of true potential. You are the star, and you are the stars within. Now, the Two of Swords is telling me that there has been some sort of decision or conflict, mentally speaking, with regard to relationships. For some of you, you may have been worried or concerned about being in a relationship because there's some trigger issues there about trauma or about conforming and not wanting to conform to society's standards, or marriage, or maybe your own parents are divorced, or maybe your own parents had issues within their romantic relationship as well. But Commander Ashtar is saying these are all things that are true, but also remember that you have so much infinite power and so much infinite love to give. And again, this is giving me the Wheel of Fortune card as well, energy. That, and we have a star right in the middle of that, as you can see. That really, we're needing to release this mental anguish within our mind, okay? And really focus on, actually, this divine union is going to have a major impact on the resetting for many people who are out there who get to see true union in action, he is saying, Commander Ashtar is saying. So you're going to be beacons of life. I was meant to say beacons of light, but beacons of life. Beacons of life, he's saying. We have the Four of Cups here. There's a moment of sadness I'm picking up on here. What is this about, Commander Ashtar? This sadness comes from a need to have or experience approval and not having received it in childhood. This sadness comes from for many of you, where you have not experienced true love in motion, true love in action, whether platonically or romantically, or even familial. And so this sadness comes also in turn with the relationships that you have, I want to say, like dealt with, but really I mean to say put up with. And you put up with those relationships at a lower grade, at a lower standard, because you would have rather have had that than nothing at all. So again, we're all part of this now collective reset for those of us who are doing the internal work, to recognize that we have our own throne, the king and queen, we have the emperor and the empress here, that was mentioned earlier with the pendant, and Commander Ashtar said that we have our own throne to sit on, and no one is giving us permission to sit there. We are giving ourselves permission to sit there. We are tapping into our feminine energy of we allow ourselves to be open to receive true grace, true love, true acceptance, true power, which starts within. And it's seeing that light and that cosmic power and that infinite range that you have within yourselves. Because you're so much more than this physical vessel, aren't you? There's a little bit of worry as well, I feel. There's a little bit of worry and anxiety a little bit. Because some of you may have been in multiple relationships or very important relationships. He's saying for some of you, 4 very important, significant connections. But they challenged you, but in the wrong way. They didn't challenge you in the right way, he is saying. Not that there is a right or a wrong, because everything is all part and parcel of the same thing, because we are here to learn in the playground of planet Earth, he is saying. But these people had challenged you in the wrong way, so to speak. They didn't challenge you to be the best versions of who you are. They wanted to project their own sense of self through you, because they were only seeing with the eyes of the physical. They were not seeing through the eyes of the internal. So they were either trying to get something from you, be associated with you because of clout, because of their own recognition or lack of recognition. But they definitely saw your potential. They saw really the cosmic power that you have, but they tried to suppress that and control that. So for many of you, this was very difficult. Excuse me. So we have the 2 of Pentacles here. We have 242, 242, 242. 2 people for 2 people. So for some of you, there are 2 people. Again, we have choice. We have 2 and 2 is 4. And then we have number 4 here, which would typically be the Hierophant. Would typically be the Emperor. My apologies. Typically be the Emperor. Aries energy is coming through, as well as Gemini is coming through. We also had Taurus and energy, Libra, as well as Exalted in Pisces, and Pisces, Cancer, possibly even Scorpio with the High Priestess that was mentioned too. So you may have that in your natal chart too. Planets of significance are Mercury, he is saying, Aries, as well as Venus, and the Moon as well, coming in strong. But he is saying that there are 2 people that you're going to be making a choice in, or you may have already made a choice in. One is a soulmate, either one are true, he is saying. And as I say that, it was 11:44 on the timer. So one is a twin flame, one is a soulmate. You've already dealt with your karmic love. You've already dealt with the most taxing relationship in your life. Even though you may not necessarily make it with your twin flame, so to speak, and it will be difficult to release that connection, it may be important to release that connection, because some of you, this person may not have necessarily healed or seen their own potential within. So it may be necessary to release that connection and make the right choice with someone who does see themselves in their true light, and who's also willing to give you a commitment that you deserve, he is saying. So there'll be 2 people, 2 for 2. Yeah. We have the Queen of Wands, no surprise. Okay. So a lot of you feminines, are really embodying your powerful, magnetic, sensual, sexy selves. You are attracting a lot of admirers, indeed. and there's something very alluring about you. There's something also very mispopular about you too. So you could be coming into a time right now where there is a lot of popularity and eyes on you at this time. Let's look a little bit deeper and see what this is about. I love it. The love doctor, he is saying. The love doctor. It's very sweet. Okay, so what is this? What is this card about? Come on, Ashtar, tell us about this card. He's saying to release anger and feeling that you are a substitute. I'm also hearing Madonna's song, Substitute for Love. Let me just tune into that song. Will I wait for you, my substitute for love, my substitute for love? And now I have changed my mind. So there's this energy here, and I just got chills down my neck, that some of you are recognizing that you don't want a substitute for love, you want the real thing. Okay? Come on, Ashtar, tell us about this card. Tell us about that card with the painting by Jean-Michel Basquiat, the dark figure with the white eyes and open portals. He's talking about the soul and the eyes being portals to the soul. He's also talking about demonic energies as well. And he's talking about every orifice has, it's kind of like he's actually showing me the PCH, the Pacific Coast Highway here in Santa Monica, which is a main motorway or freeway. And he's showing me that each portal that we have in our body is a freeway, a motorway. And a lot of you are not putting tolls for these passages at these either intersections or portal entries because they're not free. These freeways are not free. Okay? He's also telling me that something that Johnny Depp had done during his really acrimonious divorce, which was he said to, I don't want to say allegedly because it is documented, but we'll just say allegedly, that he had said, allegedly, to Amber Heard that you will never see my eyes again. You will never see my eyes again. Very powerful, isn't it? Very powerful. And it's amazing how the eyes are powerful, because once we lay eyes on an individual, we are essentially subconsciously venerating their soul. We are venerating their soul through our own recognition of our soul. And when we lay eyes on someone, we are giving them attention. Now, of course, with that acrimonious divorce, there were many people that were interfering with that connection. And maybe you felt a resonance with that whole procedure with Johnny Depp and Amber Heard because you yourselves had experienced something similar. and you had turned your back. Maybe even your friends had turned their own backs, or so-called friends turned their backs towards you. And so you're realizing who your true friends are now, or who your true friends were then. And you're saying that sometimes it's best to honor your own light, honor your own truth, honor your own soul. And so maybe it's about actually really giving the time of day or respect by laying your eyes, your true soul connection with someone else that you also respect and recognize and love. Now, these two people have their eyes almost closed here because they recognize that the power of their third eye is more powerful than their physical eyes, because they have already integrated the Merkaba within themselves, and the Merkaba is being now re-entwined within each other. So he's saying that the two Merkabas within each soul coming into union becomes a mega Merkaba. Now, MM could also be significant. Letter MM could be significant. I did mention Madonna, which is the letter M as well. I also mentioned the word magnetism. So there's also the energy of Magdalene here as well. Madonna, La Maria, the Virgin Mary, There's an energy here, of course, of the Holy Trinity too. And people, community, camaraderie, people that you can really trust here is also included. No, he said that was it. That was really it. So that's kind of it with these cards. Very interesting messages here. Some of you are being asked to have a little bit more patience in your union or meeting the right person as well, by the way. Let me see if there's any other messages from the tarot, using the tarot, Commander Ashtar. Commander Ashtar, are there any other messages? Eight of Pentacles. I want me to put this here for some reason. Okay. The Five of Pentacles. The King of Cups, no surprise. Someone who's getting in touch with their emotions. And we have the Nine of Pentacles. We also have the Seven of Wands. And of course we have the Two of Swords, which also came out in the playing cards, okay? We also have the King of Pentacles underneath that. There's heavy masculine energy here, and this masculine energy is telling me that through the love doctor, Commander Ashtar, so funny. He's saying that there is a significant relationship that's going to be coming available. I just heard online. It's going to be coming online for you. And this person you could be meeting online. This person is also seeing that you are single and attracting a lot of admirers, and you're very sought after, either in your work as well as also, or in your allure, I'm hearing, your romantic situation or availability, because many people know that you are single. But they're also recognizing that you know that you deserve something that is really important to you, a relationship that's important to you, the best of the best of the best. Now, we spoke about the Eight of Pentacles land, it being placed here. So Commander Ashtar is saying the Eight of Pentacles Here with the Leo energy, the Hermit, and the Wheel of Fortune, is telling me again that there's this message here that July, August, September, possibly even October are going to be significant months here. Now, July is Cancer season, August is Leo season, November, October season is Scorpio season, as well as Virgo possibly, and maybe even November, which is also Scorpio season here. But Spirit is saying, and Commander Ashtar is also saying that, again, for those of you who are wanting to learn alchemy, for those of you who are wanting to study the sacred arts, you already have it within you. It's just about activating it within you, this knowledge. So you'll be activating this knowledge and learning and study through, maybe for some of you at night. You'll be working at night, you'll be studying at night. Commander Ashtar, as well as other guides, he doesn't want to name names at this time because it's going to be different and specific for each individual. But if you would like me to go deeper into who those people are, then you can book a private reading with me on any of the bookings that are available on the website. So he's saying that, he's saying actually, to be honest with you, sorry, one moment there. He's saying to be honest with you that next year, around midsummer to autumn, fall season, there's going to be a significant change with, for some of you, what you've already learnt that you're going to be teaching, because here we have the Hermit who then becomes a teacher, having learnt and understood, having gone within all of the great mysteries and then imparting that knowledge to the world. You're going to be teaching that great mystery, whatever that may be, during those seasons, sort of like mid-summer to autumn, fall. I see that there is also alchemy involved here again as well. He's also going to be directing you, or he's going to be putting people in front of you, as well as guides in your immediate perception, so that you can work with those guides, so that they can teach you sacred knowledge. Okay? Beautiful. The next card that came out was the King of Cups. Now, the King of Cups is coming out with the months of May, June, July, August, September, possibly even October months. So again, we have mid-summer all the way to autumn, winter seasons. And I see that this person, if you already know this person, or if you are with this person, or not, I feel like those months are going to be significant. July, August, September, October. And we also have the sign Pisces, Cancer, as well as Leo as well. So Pisces, Cancer, and Leo too are of great significance. We have Archangel Michael working with the masculines at this time. And Archangel Michael is telling them that they have experienced a wake-up call and that it's time to change and shift their life for the better. Some of them have most probably even had a very near-death experience or a second chance at life in general, where they are learning that they are needing to be more in touch with their inner selves, inner child, and healing their inner child. And that their inner child is also part of their adult existence. Now it's interesting here because we have a crown here. So the masculine is crowning themselves around this time, July, August, September, October. And we had a reading with the crown, Jean-Michel Basquiat's symbol, which is the crown. So he called himself, the show is called King Pleasure or King Pleasures. And he crowned himself as king, and you don't need approval from anyone other than yourselves and through spirit to crown yourself as someone who is worthy of great power, attention, as well as delivery, authority, in your field of work, in your love life, in a balanced, beautiful, purified, magnanimous way. Okay, that's what I'm hearing. And so the masculines are going to be more sensitive around those months and more in touch with their clairvoyancy, spiritual acumen, I'm hearing. And some of them may also be revisiting something from their childhood, maybe through therapy, but also through a pastime, a hobby that they used to partake in, maybe including sailing or horse riding or fishing or singing or meditating or even yoga or some sort of like leisurely activity that's not too strenuous on the physical body, but that gives them a lot of, I want to say exercise, release, but it's more about spiritual exercise is what I'm hearing. So they get so much out of this activity. And again, this is a moment for the masculines around this period. These could also be the months that they are born as well, to really reflect inwards and see how abundant they are, with the symbol of the fish is about abundance. Some of them are also rebirthing themselves as Christians or rebirthing themselves into, again, rebirth, the child of who they get to be. But this is a very spiritual process for them. It's a fun activity, it's a sweet activity, and it's the energy of sweet surrender. So it's what I'm seeing here is that the masculines are releasing toxic masculinity traits, activities that are deemed as toxically masculine, no matter what their gender is. And here with the Nine of Pentacles, for those of you who are feminines or femmes, I see you being more aligned with your intuitive capacities, your intuitive activities, your deep queen energy, as well as your deep king energy. So a lot of you are also turning to your own parents for guidance, for support, for acknowledgement, for, I just heard arrival, so I don't know what that means, but you know, it's kind of the energy of the baronessy. So when there is a baronet, or a baroness in a family line, like my family line, for example, I can't receive the baronessy from my mum until she passes on. So there's something here about ancestral passing on of a baton, and it's the cycle of the archetypes of woman, the whore, the witch, the virgin, the child, the daughter, the child. So there's something here that is being passed on from ancestry. I do think this is a beautiful tradition, maybe for some of you in your culture. But I do see that this is something that could almost without a doubt involve some sort of spiritual ritual or practice. There's also a level of authority and recognition here, particularly from a mother to a daughter as well. So the energy of also like the daughter becoming the princess that will eventually become queen, that kind of energy. But maybe there's some sort of tradition where there is a preparation of that princess that will eventually become queen, but the queen, there is training involved, and it doesn't have to necessarily be in royal families, in bloodlines, through blue blood. It can take place through your own traditions and culture, where you recognize that is the next eventual step in your process, in your evolution, and that there are certain things to prepare for that evolution. So particularly with this card here, the Nine of Pentacles, there is a precipice that takes place with the Nine of Pentacles that ends up being the Ten of Pentacles, which is great wealth, great riches. Someone who's very, very financially stable, wealthy beyond their maybe expectations, or maybe this is great wealth that comes in through family fortune or assets. This can also, again, involve spiritual knowledge that comes in through like the floodgates being opened, and allowing access to that, maybe because there's a beacon of light or a baton that is passed on through, I feel particularly through a family connection. This can also be learning one's ancestry as well, and recognizing that one is connected to great wealth through ancestry. But I do see that there is the next stage inevitably coming into play here for a lot of you femmes, and I do see that here. Particularly for those of you who are coming into the next landmark of your life, whether it's turning a big age or having children or getting married or preparing for marriage or preparing for a partnership. You know, this is a landmark opportunity, a landmark shift in your life that one also gets to prepare for in anticipation, but one gets to purify oneself through the food, through nutrition, through becoming the holy of holies, essentially, physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. Okay, with the Five of Pentacles, there is a healing that's taking place for a lot of us in the collective, no matter what kind of energy you resonate with the most, whether it's masculine or feminine, where we are experiencing maybe possibly for some of us a revisit, a divine pause from spirit, because we need to end certain patterns involving, I just heard child, ABUSE, trauma from one's childhood, past, separation, anxiety, separation, abandonment, those kind of things, feeling a sense of lack. And we are revisiting and relearning and seeing that with the Temperance card, the Death card, the Hanged Man, and even bordering on the Devil, that we're needing to let go of these bonding sessions with other, let's say, victims, and seeing oneself again as a victor rather than as a victim. Because the energy is different with victim and victor. And even if you were a victim, it's important to transmute that into victor or Victoria. Victoria could be an important name as well. And Queen Victoria was a queen of England as well, too. La Vittoria, the victory, yeah? So I do see here that there's a balance taking place, and a recognition that we can be kinder on ourselves. We can be sweet on ourselves. We don't have to punish ourselves through dieting in a bad way, in a way where we're hurting ourselves. Through self-judgment, we are ending these past ways to maybe deal with pain. We are releasing that. Scorpio energy here, Sagittarius energy, Capricorn, as well as Pisces here, coming in strong. So maybe there's a sacred pause that's taking place within March through to April, through to May, through June and July, possibly even August, where something is being looked at again, reviewed again for the last time. Okay, beautiful. Some of you may also have prominent Pisces, Scorpio and Sagittarius, possibly even Capricorn in your chart too. So you're seeing that you have the key to that doorway to exit as well. Maybe for some of you who've gone through very difficult situations, ABUSE in particular, in relationships, no matter what capacity that could have been in, whether it's familial, platonic or romantic, or even in career. You sought help, and you're coming in strong as a light bearer, I'm hearing now. Commander Ashtar is also saying to look up, dear one. Look up to the stars, dear one. Look up to the stars, dear one. There's also this energy here of a mentor, or maybe even seeking financial advice from someone that you trust, maybe even a father figure, possibly. Okay, let's get one more card. Knight of Pentacles. There's also the message, which I forgot to mention, that the masculine is also moving away from a person or a situation. With the World card and the Knight of Pentacles, you know, there's also this energy where a lot of us in the collective, just generally speaking, are moving towards something that is going to be a slow burn rather than a quick burn in our romantic life and situation and setting. With the World card, there is a full cycle of an event, a full project having been completed, and a new lease of life that is going to be reinstated in your world again. Now, this is also part of the Great Reset that is taking place, collectively speaking, that a lot of you are also part of. Now, we are all part of this cosmic sacred experience with the sacred numbers and sacred geometry here with these symbols. And a lot of you, it's been a very slow thing that's coming in. A lot of you are coming into a relationship or your true divine connection or true divine relationship later on in life. Okay? And here with the snake here eating its own tail, there's something very esoteric about that too. Yeah. Let's just get one more card here from the Sibilla, Commander Ashtar. Oh, wow, that flipped out. Invertible. So again, there's a message here from Commander Ashtar that something needs to end. If you're in this feeling of lack, or if you're in a relationship that is toxic, that there is going to be an ending, whether it's spirit's intervention or your own, or even a family intervention for some of you, there is something that is definitely ending so that something new can begin. 84 could be your year of birth, or age 48 could also be significant, as well as age 36. We also have the Three of Swords, which is telling me a lot of you are healing from heartbreak and anxiety, or something that has been a grievance in your life. I'm also picking up on eating disorders, I have to say, here that's going to be ending for a lot of you. And I'm seeing here that I heard good grief. Now, in Britain, one would say good grief when someone is kind of annoyed with something or upset or disgusted by something. So there is someone who's been disgusted by something, you know, someone's treatment. Red trousers, red and white stripy trousers could also be significant for some of you, but obviously not all of you. I do see some of you, there is someone who wants to come and revisit the cycle with you. And I feel like for some of you, you go, good grief, I thought that had ended, but maybe this person wants to come back in. I think this is an ex, and I think there is someone here who wants to come back in so that you can close the cycle with them once and for good. Yeah, we have l'amante and we have militare. So for some of you, you're needing to set your boundaries with someone who's just serenading you just for love, and I'm hearing just for profit. They equate love with flirtation and sort of like romantic gestures. I'm also picking up on gaslighting here, so not very much in terms of any concrete relationship or connection or commitment. For some of you, this is also you asserting your boundaries so that you can actually be with someone who is your true love. And you get to be serenaded. This is someone who will be sending you a message. Again, this message of someone who is contacting you from afar. These are lots of messages. Someone who is different from your usual type, may also speak another language or different languages as well. There's also a message here about being the messenger of love for a lot of you, particularly for those of you who have healing channels or work in the healing arts or are artists or creatives in any capacity. A lot of you are also, it's important that you move, you travel as well. And that you also close out cycles in particular places where you may have lived, so that you can do soul retrievals, so that you can end toxic patterns or just end patterns in general. We have malinconia again. So for some of you, you are still in this energy of longing. So there's a deep release that needs to take place here, where a lot of you are going to be learning that in the next cycle, that this person is no longer going to be coming back because they have either ended a relationship with you and you're still longing for them here. This person is not going to be revived again in a connection with you. This person has moved on. So it might be a good idea for you to also block this person, to no longer have contact with this person, or for this person to no longer contact you. There's also a message here where some of you are going to be getting news and a contract from abroad or to work abroad. We have la leggerezza and we have la stanza. So there's a message here of intimacy and being lighthearted, being flirtatious, having some fun. But really, true love is really what's on your mind, in your heart, and in your soul. So that's what you're magnetizing. Also, the next person that you are going to be with, Commander Ashtar is saying that this person is going to be just a lighter energy, a sweeter energy, a truer energy that's matching with your energy. This person is going to they're wanting to show you around the world. They want to take you out. They want to take you to places you've never been before. I'm also picking up on Aladdin. So let me show you the world. Let me take you to places that you've never seen before, corners of the world, corners of a village, a town, a city, that is going to bring a lot of magic to you. You're entering a great, exciting time in your life, and many of you are stuck with this energy of sadness because that's all you've ever known. So Commander Ashtar and Spirit are working with me in this reading to deliver this message that you're moving in to a new energy here that may be a little bit blinding because the light of this person is so bright. And I'm seeing someone who's going to be acting a little bit coy, but also is going to be flirting with you, going to be looking at you, and you're going to be turning away your gaze because it's coming back to a sense of innocent love. And you've already realized that you've met your match, or you will be. So allow yourself to go with the flow. And I do see a message of someone wanting to come and visit you in your home, your studio, your office, your place of work. And they're wanting to have a communication about love with you. We have Dottore. They want to heal a connection with you, or we have someone who has a very healing presence about them. They could be born in 75, or they could be age 44, by the way, or 45. Speranza Bambino. This came out in the Instagram live that I did as well, where there's this energy of a new beginning, but this child has not come out of their cot just yet. This child is not ready to come out yet. So for those of you who are wanting children, particularly with the World card, that is coming for you in one capacity or the other, through surrogacy, through adoption, through natural childbirth, through your own physical vessel, and conception. I'm hearing conception between the both of you. But it's also staying strong and faithful here and having hope for a future. But it's not quite the right time just yet because that baby is still in the cot, sleeping, sound asleep. I'm also picking up on Natale, so the Christmas season as well. So there's something here about that energy too. And we have Gran Signore. So this is someone who's either very well known and or has very high standards as well. They are a public figure. I do feel like this person is also highly attractive. This is someone who's highly attractive, has high principles as well. Again, we have the energy of the Nine of Pentacles here with Giovine Fanciulla, which is the Virgin. Remember, we spoke about the Virgin and the cycle of the archetypes within womanhood. We also have La Superba. So we have this energy of you, a lot of you feminines, are really coming across as very highly sought after in your field of work, in your career, your love life, but you're all entering into a new cycle of your life that maybe you've done a lot of self-work on yourself, self-improvement, but also refining your skill sets. You've already had a cycle in your career, and now you're moving on to the next stage, next evolution in your career. But I do see here that there is magnetism energy here again, coming through here. And, there's something very alluring about this person. This person also is just in front of a fortress. So again, this energy of like making sure that you are asserting your boundaries too, and knowing that you deserve the best here, the superior, the best, with La Superba. So Commander Ashtar, is there anything else? And to get out of your head, I'm hearing. Get out of your head, he is saying. Is there anything else that the collective need to hear? Commander Ashtar, is there anything else? Is there anything else? He's being quite quiet today. I don't know if you've noticed, but whatever needed to come through with the cards and the channeling and the crystal as well, then that came out all at the right time. Is there anything else? He's saying go with God, whatever God means to you. God being the truth and light of all things and the way for all people. We are entering a new paradigm, as in you are entering a new paradigm, where it is important to hold strong for those who do not have or cannot have that strength within their hearts. So a lot of you have already been equipped with difficult passages in your life to uphold to true truths, to be beacons of light, life and force and strength for others who cannot, who are unwilling to see and who are wanting freedom as well. Many of you are showing the light to those who are lost and who have lost their light. For many of you, it is a natural skill set to do this effortlessly. For others of you, you'll be learning how to do this. I just heard through a commanding voice, through training, through coaching, through self-mastery, through initiations, through self-inquiry, through joy and what that means to you and what the understanding of joy is to you in all capacities, beyond space, time, frequency, matter. Okay, he's saying end of transmission. So that's all I have for you, everyone. I really do hope you've enjoyed this session, this channeling reading, this tarot reading as well. It's been a beautiful reading about love, hasn't it? Yeah, let me know how it resonates for you. If you'd like to tip me, the information is down below in the description box, as well as in each box for each booking. If you have any inquiries or you're a bit confused and you're wanting to have a booking with me and you don't know how it happens, how it works, then send me a message and I will be happy to deliver the response to you. Thank you so much. God bless. Be in the light. Take care. Bye for now. Ciao.